What is up, everybody? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Midnight Happy Hour. It's your boy Monk. It's your boy Lou over there. I got it right this time. We're here, UFC Vegas something 95. There's 10 fights to go on. Cannot wait. I'm looking forward to this one. Lou, how are you doing? Looking forward to this one?
No, but
No.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, look, we're going to be professionals. I'm going to break this card down for somehow the third time this week.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that happened, but I've actually enjoyed both shows this week, breaking down stuff. So I'm not like, strangely enough, it's been an interesting card to break down.
There we
but
go.
We're going to do something a little different.
Well, before we do get started, let's shout out the chat. Aaron, Big Steve, Bo Jackson, TBT, Bo Jackson. That's awesome. Prince of Mischief, Jackie Covert, Mark in the house, Kristen in the house as well, and Steve Gregory. Be sure if it's your first time here, hit the like on the video, hit the sub on this channel. I think before the show we were like 5 away from 200. Let's get to 200 before we get out of here tonight. That would be very, very nice on a shit card. Joshua's in here as well. And yeah, without further ado, juicy. Let's Lou, what do you got for the people?
So we're going to do something a little different to start the program. And I want to explain why we're going to do something different. So there's been a little bit of an epidemic that I'm noticing in this community. And maybe a lot of this could be just me being an old chunk of coal from a different era where you had to like call a guy to put a bet in or get the dude on the corner with the blue parlay tickets. Still South Philly has shit like, I'm sure Mushroom bets like that. Like, I'm sure he knows the guys with the blue tickets. Like, it's how Philly is. But I also come from an era where, as it's going to sound weird, I bet on sports because I wanted to make money. And now I'm seeing more and more cons, more people that bet to get money in what I think are nefarious and deceptive ways. They bet for clout. They might win one fight out of 5. And they're like, I won that. Let's focus on that. Like, go sign up, pay me $300, $400 a month, a week, whatever. And I may as well leverage my experience and wisdom in this field. So I have prepared preparations. And more importantly, I have prepared a presentation. If you'll indulge me for like 10, 12 minutes, your boy, if you think I'm entertaining, I think you'll like it. I think it'll be educational. There's still a little bit of comedy because I just can't fucking help myself. I can only be me. So here we go, dude. I am going to talk about what to look for and what to avoid. I was talking to Monk before the show, and I'm actually surprised at how many people, again, maybe it's because I'm old, how many people are in their 20s in this community and really just getting their feet wet with betting. And you can be susceptible to certain bad apples. So I just want to point out some things. And no, punch and pie will not be served. Our lawyer advised me to put this on.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a couple of things you want to look for. All art done by Google. There's a couple of things that you want to look for when you're looking at a tout and a tipster. And let me be clear. I am not anti-capitalism. I am not anti-people making money in the space. There's some really good and honest tipsters in this space. I'll call out a guy who I know is in our chat a lot of time. That would be Sparring with Reality. Luke is like one of the nicest, coolest guys ever. He's one of the best to ever do it. And he's always accessible. But we're going to get to that in a second. So the first thing, and this is, I don't know if they're all important. I don't want to say one's more important than the other. Make sure they have a public proven track record. If somebody wins a couple of bets and they're instantly spamming you to sign up and pay for their thing, there's something off with that. I want to see somebody with years and years of an experience. So here's an example. I'm not going to say names. I don't want the video pulled. So on the top, maybe a certain officer who did narcotics. So I'm not naming names.
It could be anyone.
I'm giving this person his flowers for having an immaculate run. But if you look at this, it's a lot of units bet. It's 5 profitable years. If this person is the person in question, and he's not, I'm giving the example as a record. If this is the person who says that you look to sign up. You're like, okay, this guy has demonstrated year after year after year, consistent, and a lot of units. So this isn't like betting 6 fights a year and being profitable. This is a consistent winner. Okay, you want to see that. Now, I wrote incomplete on the bottom. I don't want to write bad because there's success in this, but it's still a very small sample size. So I would just look at this and say, this is, for me, an incomplete. This is not enough to justify somebody making me part with my money. Okay. This is very important. Make sure that they're a mentally stable human being. Now, you guys are going to think I'm joking, and this is the thing, but I'm not joking. And this is what you want to know. You want somebody that can handle loss, and not just 1 week. Dude, you bet for so long. You're going to have good weeks. You're going to have bad weeks. You're going to have good runs. You're going to have bad runs. It's a long game. It's part of it. You got to be able to handle loss. You want somebody that communicates. Again, this is a business relationship. You're a client. If I'm working for somebody as a computer contractor and I just stop talking to the person who's paying me, it's a bad deal. Constantly being in communication. Even if things are going wrong, communicate. And you want somebody dedicated for the long term. I'm going to touch more on that in a second. So let's get to the bad. Chases losses. Now, this is huge because if you're trusting somebody, let's say to do NFL bets, and they get murdered on the 1 o'clock slate, down 5 units, down 7 units. When you see their next bets are 3 to 4 units on the afternoon games, I need to know they just like the games better and not, well, we're down, I'm hammering.
We're chasing, yeah.
You need to know somebody's financially responsible and isn't going to chase losses. Goes silent for days, that's what communicates. Like, you just don't want somebody to run. Threatens to quit after bad nights. And this is very important. If you're paying for like 30 days of a service and the 4th of the month, they're like, I suck, I'm done, I quit. Well, you paid for 30 days. So who's getting jobbed? You are. So you want somebody that has proven they're going to be, again, this is a business client relationship. You need to know the person that you're spending money on is going to be reliable and dependable. Okay. Demonstrated. I love this. I can't help. I just think this one's so funny with the hockey. Sorry, Kristen. I know you're Canadian. I know you're a hockey fan. Demonstrated expertise in the sport they're selling. Now, this you'd think is obvious. You'd think it's obvious. But you never know. So what do I want to see as demonstrated expertise? I want somebody to write up a bet and maybe some kind of logical or statistical analysis. Now, look, I did this for the Euros. I did this for soccer all the time. Now, you can pull it down. It's all right. Stop it. I did this for the Euros. I didn't win every bet. But if people are going to be, and not this is free, but I'm saying is if people are going to, people didn't usually watch soccer, started watching the Euros. And they're like, Lou, we know you're a soccer guy. I'm like, okay. Mick is a very good soccer guy in the chat, by the way. Excellent. Probably better than me. I don't know. He's good. He's very good. He's like Barry Zuckerkorn. He's very good. But at least with each one of my plays, I wrote up why I like to play and whether it won or not. And I do it based on market value and whatever. I'm going to be right. I'm going to be wrong. But at least if you're tailing the bet, you'd be like, okay, why am I spending my money? It's not a lot to ask. So what's the bad? Oh, look at my bets I won today. Okay, well, that doesn't prove shit. You know? Bets without explanation. You're just posting. Again, when you're just posting bets, well, how do I know if you stole them or not? And that's where plagiarism comes in. And there's a little example on the screen. And again, I'm not here to name names. Even serious Lou Glenn is still kind of goofy, Lou. I can't help it. But there was an example this week, and you know, if you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, you didn't. But I had made a comment that I thought a certain individual did not demonstrate knowledge and that in fact stole a play from me. And I can only access some of my, you know, things that I did on the old account for reasons that that are Monk's fault, that involve a car.
He's gaslighting me. He's gaslighting me right now.
They involve a part of a car and Monk's head, probably. I don't know. I don't think I specified a part of the body.
I haven't worked through this trauma yet, Lou. This is very traumatic for me.
Well, good job working on it by creating a second channel with me. I really appreciate it. Yeah. But in the case of this exchange, and I don't really like publishing a lot of DMs, but like half an hour, 45 minutes later, the same person came back to me and said, dude, I got a great prop. It's Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm like, oh, the guy you didn't know? I'm like, by the way, you didn't have to scroll up. It's the last thing we said. What are you doing, dude? So you're trying to sell me on a pick that I told you? Like, that's weird, man. Like, there's another conversation that's in here where he alluded to the fact that he knows a lot about the sport from Madden.
Yeah.
But there's
game,
one more
Madden
thing.
The game. Yeah.
But there's one more thing I want to bring up, and that is, so there's predictive models out there like Odd Shopper, which is excellent, Betting Pros. Some of them are free, some of them are cheap. They're absolutely wonderful resources across the board for sports. They analyze what the number should be, what the odds should be. It's a really, really good betting tool. And I know that this particular person, after I said, just admit you're using one, did. Now, I don't have a problem with people using it. Like I said, they're a great tool. But it's not your work. Don't take the work and claim it as your own. It's unethical. It's really unethical to do that. Like, just say you like, you know how many times, Monk, how many times have I posted like a jizz tips parlay and I'm like, I bet this because it's ridiculous.
Right.
Don't tail this.
Weekly.
But it's my work. It's very clearly my work at that point.
Exactly.
Like, I think it's very clearly I have sort of a signature style. But I just think if you're going to do it, like, prove that it's your work. That's it. All right. And the last one, don't use deceptive language to fool a human being. It insults your intelligence. Now, what do I mean by that? So I'm using this example that I recently saw. This is a Dub Club member who shall remain nameless. Monk, I see two things missing with this. Do you know what they are?
Well,
I don't see a 2024 MMA listed.
Yeah, what year is it?
Right. And that's because that one's minus 17.7. That is conveniently omitted from this list. What I also don't see is if that's year by year, why isn't the NFL year by year? And I can tell you, I can confirm that NFL stat is from last year. It's a lot of volume. Now, I am not debating that's not a good year. 8% ROI is a good year by any standards. But that's 1 year. So I read this, and it looks great on the surface. It's like, oh, my God, this is just all wins. This is just plus units and plus units. I'm in. But it's very deceptive. It's incredibly intentionally deceptive because you're omitting the year you're getting killed, and you're giving no context to the fact that you had one good year in the NFL. This isn't 7 good years. Like, I am not a fan of a certain Greek. But if you look at his record, it's like thousands and thousands, and because he's a volume better. But it's thousands of plays. So it's a big enough sample size. That's my point. You at least know it's over years and years and years. There's other examples of deceptive language. Like, somebody offered me a partnership. And the reality is, not only do they spam everybody that like tags Gambling X, but like I went to one of these betting services, and if you have like an internet connection in hands, you can partner up with them. I don't think I have to know sports. You can just partner up with them. Now, and it's not a critique on the service, but like they don't, like, their whole thing is they only get paid when you get paid. So it's okay. So it's a service. It's not a partnership. It's a service. And the last one, and this, a lot of people do this too. I am a content creator versus I write a few tweets a week. Look, I mean, it depends on what your definition of content creation is. If writing a couple of tweets a week is content creation, I know 1 billion content creators. For me, I want to create something. Like Monk and I, we're creating a new thing here. We have a very signature style over 2 years. Other friends of ours, which I will get to in a second, have created great worlds, great communities. That's, to me, what content creation is. It's not like when I write, oh, this I got kicked in the sack. That is not me creating content. That's me being weird. I know this. But what Monk and I do, the variety we try to give you, that's creating content. And if the only shows you do are like once in a blue moon, you're invited somewhere, well, that's not content creation either. That's you're sleeping on somebody's couch. The person making the video is creating the content. Okay, so I want to get off that for a second, and I want to talk about And we're almost at the end. So I appreciate you guys indulging me, wallowing in my crapulence as I do this. So there's other services too. And again, I am not anti-enterprise. I like these. Patreon is a really good one. Monk has one. Brady has one. Wheezy has one. I'll bring up Wheezy specifically. He does a lot of really cool statistical stuff that like no one does. And the thing is this, even if you don't want his stats and you just want to pay for his Patreon because you're supporting his work, that's what's so cool about it. Yep. You're not getting, there's no scam here. There's no scam. If you want, it's you tipping somebody for their work and you getting a product out of it, a monthly product. It's great. And it's very easy to set up. It's very easy to use on both ends. I think Patreon is a wonderful and cost-effective way to set up some money. Discord. Now, Discord, there's a little bit of diciness here, but for the most part, I think Discord communities are great if done correctly. And I'm going to name 3 real quick.
Yeah, because they tend to moderate themselves. The good ones moderate themselves and get the riffraff out.
So the one is known chat scoundrel for our shows, Big Steve. I'm in Big Steve's Discord. He locks me in the soccer channel. He doesn't let me come out. But for a very cheap price, what are you getting? You're getting a lot of sharp minds constantly talking about fights, and not just UFC, all the regionals. If you are just into the sport, it is a great Discord. I'll shout out John Kelly, a guy who has done everything the right way. He's a man of honor. He's built a community that does fights in DFS. I'm obviously always hesitant to talk about his DFS stuff with the GOAT above me. But him, Marley, and Monk are like the 3-headed geniuses of this in my eyes. I'm just below him at 792nd. But John Kelly has won several NFL tournaments. The guy has built a reputation the right way. He's working hard. He's built his company the right way. They're all sharp dudes over there. Ozzy, Chad. Yes, Chad's a sharp guy. Ozzy, Chad, Pepe, Evan. And that's what you're getting access to. You're getting access to a really good betting community, a really good live betting tool, and you're getting access to the DFS stuff. So again, that's a good one. And I mentioned him earlier, but Narco Cop, my friend, I think this week we are friends. No, I'm just kidding. And Narco's Discord is like absolutely tremendous. I know Josh is hanging around in chat. I mean, even if you just join his Discord for like the live spaces during fights, you'll make money. But when I was in there, it's like, Jesus Christ, it's constant conversations about every fight. It's sharp. There's people betting every sport in the world like 24 hours a day. These are value buys. You're getting a ton. Now, there's Discords you're going to see on Twitter where they've never lost, and everything's like another 12 for 12 fucking, these are lies. So if you want to sign up for one, here's what I would advise. Ask them for a trial. Ask them for a 1-week trial so you can see for yourself. Because if they're confident in the product, they'll gladly do it.
Yep.
They'll make you money. And this is a related thing. When I ran a bar, I have distributors that come in my bar once a week, and they're like, and look, the distributors aren't the problem. They're a sales guy. So what do? They're like, oh man, I got this new beer, I got this new company, and like it's killing it everywhere. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like, can I see your sales numbers? They're like, no. And I'm like, okay, I don't really need to. Can I have a couple of samples? They're like, nah, we don't have any samples. I'm like, oh, so what you're asking me to do is take one of my valuable taps and replace it with a beer that I don't know. Now, if I'm a customer and I'm like, cool, I know I like these 6 beers and these 6 are not my style, and there's one I've never heard of, but I want to drink. Am I going to spend, and most likely it's going to be a microbrew that this person's trying to sell me. They're trying to sell me Coors Light. Are they going to buy the beer they know are good, or are they going to take a chance for a more expensive unknown one? Of course they're not going to. And I need to know, as the owner and the guy running it, how can I sell it to my customers? Can I sell it to my customers? Because if not, and it's just a stale tap, it's of no use to me. And I think this is just the same concept. Why would I spend $150 to go to a Discord that I don't know, that seems scammy, versus spending $20-$30 for people that I talk to all the time that I would rather support? So it doesn't make sense. So if they don't give you one, and by the way, I mean, if you do the mystery box of beers, I'm a big fan. Mickey's Grenades are. I mean,
Oh,
the
I was a
best.
big fan of those back in the day.
He's showing his age too. All right, so to wrap things up, and then we can move on with the real program that nobody is going to probably stay around for. There's nothing wrong with being enterprising. There's nothing wrong with taking your passion for MMA and trying to make money. Honestly, on the whole in this community, I think there are like, it's crazy for me that I think most of the people are cool as shit. I have made a lot of really good friends here. You guys in the chat, Monk, Brady, Wheezy, Pep. I'm too many to name. I don't want to like exclude people. Like so many people that I talk to on like at least a weekly basis. It's a really cool community. There's going to be bad apples wherever you go. It's just, it's the nature of the beast. There's going to be bad apples. But don't think you're powerless against it. Like, I hope that what I did tonight is just the first step in the right direction. If people are going to scam, let it be known. Or more importantly, just be an evil bastard and deny them of the one thing they want the most. That's attention. So for me, if you see these people doing this, Dana White, Jesus Christ,
the big dog is here.
Parts unknown. Hey, if you know, you know, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I would just say, if you see people, and it's not most of you guys in chat, but if you see people you think are getting victimized by a scam, either point them in this video, because yes, we love the views, of course, but these are smart points. Just these are very salient points to make. And spiritual advisor Monk is now completely liable because he's on the credit.
That's right. I stand with Lou.
Thank you guys for your time with this. I am going to have a well-deserved cigarette and get some water. And Monk will tell that one joke he knows.
He's going to fucking leave me to talk about fucking Stephanie Luciano and Talita Alencar. Here, you guys can look at the fucking thumbnail for a second. Go smoke, because I have nothing to say about this shit. Yes.
Take questions from the chat.
There we go. Yeah, I'll take questions from the chat. Actually, we'll shout out a couple of comments. You go smoke.
That's my guest next week on the prop show, by the way.
Aussie? Nice. Very nice. Lotion brands, possibly. We could always do that. I'm sure he's gonna make the video that we're doing right now. I don't know how that works. Good advice, Kiwi. Good advice. Plus, I think we should use this word more often in America. I think we should. Yeah, Tito's for sure. Let's go up. What do we got? 40 ounces like a man, guys. I'm just like wasting time because I don't have shit to talk about for Luciano.
I'll just fucking smoke on air. Let's go.
Let's do it. Otherwise, I'll start with the fucking main event.
In for a penny, in for a pound, right?
That's true. Now that comment is good. There we go. I forgot to erase it. Yeah. All right. Here we go. This is a rematch. This is a card full of rematches. Stephanie Luciano, another person nicknamed Rondinha, taking on Talita Alencar. We've got minus 156 for the debutante. Beard oil, I use, I'll shout him out. Artius Man, that's what I use. I got to re-up, though. It's dry summer. I'm out of it, so I gotta get some more. Any more suggestions, though, let me know, because I got some last time. It was all right. They got good sense, you know what I'm saying? What do we got? Alencar's plus 136. Fight doesn't go plus fucking 195. The over 2.5 is minus 275. Yeah. Salaries here 85.77. Look, Alencar won. Didn't she win? I don't have the. No, it was a draw. Luciano scored a shitload of points, or she would have. This was a DWCS fight. Alencar has since had one fight in the UFC, while Luciano, this is her first one. Luciano got taken down 4 times by Alencar. She landed a takedown. Lots of strikes from Luciano, 5.8 a minute. I feel like if Luciano can get any kind of takedowns going, then she probably. Dude, this is such a low-level women's MMA fight.
You want me to just take over on this one?
Dude, fuck yeah. The stats here are just awful. Alencar has awful stats against Rayan Amanda. She scored 56 points, Lou. That's with the bonus. 56 points.
So, look at this. He's coming in hot because I actually like this kind of play. I think this is an interesting fight. So in that first fight, I don't know if it's easy money, but I certainly like the price. I think at the price. So that was a tale of two fights. It was Alan Carr getting takedowns. That was the end of the round, and then totally gassed out. Now,
Right.
There's two things to consider here. And no, I'm not saying that one of them is dengue fever. I'm not talking about dengue fever at elevation with staph or any of this crap. I'm not doing that. Alan Carr came in on short notice for that fight. Now, I don't know if she really has the cardio to do that for 3 rounds, but she did come in on short notice. Needs to be said. Luciano has now had a lot of time and she's younger. If Luciano stuffs a takedown in the first 2 rounds, it's night and day on the feet, and she's going to piece up Alan Carr. And Alan Carr is going to get tired quicker. So I lean the Luciano side. I don't love the money line, but I really do like the under if you have to play this fight. I think Luciano has KO equity.
Yeah.
And if Luciano hasn't improved on the ground, I do think Toledo Alan Carr has submission equity here. I lean to Luciano KO, but I think they both have finishing equity. And you're giving me an under at plus 215. I mean, even fight doesn't go. If you really want the 2.5 minutes, that's fine too. That's a good price. If you have to make a play on this, it's a very binary fight. I'd kind of rather play the under, thinking both of them have finishing equity.
Love it. Well, if that's the
case,
if
this dengue fever is real, ended up like, dealing
maybe,
with it, like if she's Kamzat now with like, I can't do anything. I mean, who's to say Alan Carr can't get a late sub here, like late second round?
Who do you think is going to Robert Whittaker is going to fight?
Who's what
October?
Now?
Who's Robert Whittaker going to fight in October when Hamzat obviously doesn't fight?
Well, they tried to get Bo. I think now's the time to get him. I don't know if Whittaker. I mean, look, if I'm Whittaker though, I'm like, why am I going to fight 2 unranked guys in a row unranked? Like, I'm probably not gonna do that.
No.
Like they better offer him like, dude, I don't care that Bo's not ranked. If you beat him, you're getting like, you're in title contention.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Usman is very possible here, but I kind of it's almost like, are they gonna fucking shoehorn Usman against Bilal just to deny? They
can't do that. They can't do this to us.
Are they gonna deny me the reign of Shavkat?
Does he have 3 losses in a row?
Yeah, but the combat loss was good, and he took it on like 2 days' notice.
Dude, 3 L's in a row, you don't get a fucking title shot.
Now let's move on to the next fight. The hell with it. We're done with this one.
Lisa Ann, yeah, smash it. Smash it. Here we go. The most expensive fighter on the card. Yusuf Zalal minus 440. What are we doing here? 9,400 taking on Jarno Aarons. Plus 340, 6,800. Fight doesn't go as plus 155, and the under 2.5 plus 180. Lou, start us off here.
Yeah, I think the guy who's minus 440 is going to win. Aarons is pretty tough, though. Like, he's pretty durable. And he can't really stop takedowns. And I think Zalal probably just gets a lot of takedowns. And that's the fight. I mean, I don't really want to. If it's on the feet, I guess Aarons, it's closer. But, like, man, people like, it's weird how people like shit on Zalal from his last run. Dude, he fought Tybura like really well, man. Like, you know, I think it's more likely than I mean, Aarons is tough, dude. So, I mean, we'll see what Zalal looks like on the ground. If he's getting in a mountain, he's like landing a ton of shots. Maybe it's there, but I kind of feel like Zalal just. And then if he's up 2-0, he's going to get a takedown and start the third, and that's the end of the fight. So
yeah. Yeah,
good luck, Clintus, who has like a fuck ton of money tied to Zalal, dude.
Oh my god, is he parlaying him?
Oh, he's his anchor, dude. Hey, look, he's won his anchor both times, but he's won it like it almost makes me want to bet the split decision because both times he's done an anchor, it's been like a super greasy split, and it was a lot closer than it had to be. So like, but.
This is what I'm wondering.
I mean, yeah, but like, dude, his run was kind of tough, man. Like,
no, his run was super tough.
I mean, I don't know. I like, well, whatever happened, it woke him up. Like the Billy Q fight was. I mean, I don't know if Billy Q is just toast at this point, but
you put the stats from that Billy Q fight into a bowl with the rest of these, and that one stands out. It's like a green Skittle in a bowl of like fucking purple ones. It stands out all of a sudden out of nowhere. Zalal is landing, well, even you could include Blackshear. He landed 4.2 in that one. But even if you don't count that one, 4.83 strikes a minute, allowed only 1.5 to Billy Quarantillo. What else? 2 takedowns, 42% control time. So almost 3.5 minutes control time in an almost 7-minute fight. Subs him and gets almost 100 points in that win. So out of fucking nowhere, Yusuf Zalal looked fantastic. That said, I don't know if that warrants a $9,400 price tag. I'm still super iffy on that. If he was like 88, 89, sure, I'd probably roster him more than I'd feel comfortable with just because of how he looked against Billy Quarantillo, who I consider a decent fucking opponent, better than Jarno Aaron's probably, right? I mean, Jarno landed 7 strikes a minute against Stephen Wynn. I mean, I'm not really counting much of those stats.
Stephen Wynn stinks.
Yeah, exactly. Sung Woo Choi didn't do much. And then Gomes, he landed 1.3 strikes a minute. I agree with you. If Aaron's can get taken down, which he has been several times, 5 times in 3 fights. What was my stat here? Oh, he has a 29% takedown defense, Jarno Aaron. So I will be rostering Zalal. I'm not happy about the price tag, but I'm not happy about a lot of the price tags this week. It's kind of a shit show. Basically, spoiler alert, you're going to roster Chris Gutierrez, and then you only need 5 winners. So that's pretty much what we're working with. And since Gutierrez is 7K and the most expensive guy is this guy at 94, you can make a lot of shit happen. So I don't mind Zalal. I think he gets the win, and I like him for cash as well. And don't ask me why I did this. I just looked at Denise and I was like, this is a Fred Flintstone looking motherfucker right here. So he's a Fred Flintstone looking motherfucker now, isn't he? Carl Williams, minus 205, 9K, taking on Denise plus 175, 7,200. Minus 140 fight doesn't go in the under. Is it 2? It must be 2.5. Minus 125. Lou, start us off here with what is seemingly a binary fight, according to everyone.
Oh, it is. Oh, it's absolutely.
I just hate using that term, binary fight.
Yeah, but if there's ever been a binary fight,
yeah, it's this.
Like
yeah, right.
I was like so locked in Williams all week, and like the more and more I'm thinking about this fight, and I still haven't gotten to a bet. I did say I liked the Denise decision. I thought that was kind of interesting because Williams has shown he's pretty durable. He's never really shown that he gets hurt. And the thing is this, if Denise can get up at all in a round, he's going to win every second on the feet. I don't think Williams striking is like the worst thing ever, but no, he's got the number wrong for Carl. There's no Carl's ITD is not plus 190.
I think it's Wilma, but I got what you're doing.
Is Carl's ITD? It can't be 190. I think he means Denise.
I'll look if you want to talk.
Carl, no, I think Carl Williams, because Carl Williams can't finish shit. But every moment
it was 240 yesterday when I put these in.
Carl's in the distance.
Yeah, on Bet Online it was 240. Yeah, so it's probably.
Right, well, I mean, I would never bet Carl Williams in the distance at plus 190. I don't think I'd bet Carl Williams in the distance at like plus 400 at this point. Like,
yeah, that's a rough.
Strikes.
That's rough.
He doesn't attempt submissions. Like, I forget who was saying they like the Carl Williams sub prop, like because the numbers were like crazy. I don't mind that. At least if it's going to be a lot of grappling, I think it's not a horrible. Like, I think.
What are we looking for? Like a Kimura at that point?
No, but if he's going to grapple if he's going to have 12 minutes of control, you may as well take a poke on a sub. You get like 30-1. I think it was like the round 2 and round 3 numbers were like crazy. So I don't have that's fine. I think Denise does all the damage in this fight. And then it comes down to wonky judging. I think the Denise decision is like kind of weirdly live. And I think it's going to be like 30-27 Williams, then 29-28 Denise. It's going to be like a really weird, how do you judge each round? When Denise had like 30 seconds of success, but they were like the best 30 seconds of each round. Yeah. So I'm laying off it for now. I'm curious to see. This line really hasn't like moved in the last day. I'm curious to see kind of what happens on Saturday. I feel like a lot of people are saying they like Denise. And if they do, then shouldn't it be like plus 150, like 140 at this point? So we'll see.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Londo and I are like, this is a rare day. Londo and I are like we're like on the same page for every fight. So that's awesome. Like, yeah, Williams has been durable, dude. But I never play the Denise in the distance at like 10 cents more than his money line. Like, don't. Just play him. Just play his money line.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get cute with it.
Yeah. This is a probably not 100% play, but you got to play both sides of this one for GPPs. For cash, I'm probably not touching Denise. I don't mind Williams. But Lou's right. Every time, whenever this fight's on the feet, Denise has that. I mean, this dude smashes rocks at the quarry all fucking day sitting on top of a dinosaur. He's got power. You know what I'm saying? Also, he was taken down by Austin Lane. That's never good. Was controlled for 63% of 7 minutes, whatever that is. It's like four and change. So you never want to see that against someone like Austin Lane. Yeah, it's Carl Williams. He's landed 16 takedowns, guys, in 3 fights. Take out the Chase Sherman fight, he's landed 15 against Breshke and Tafa. Denise is probably in that realm until I see otherwise as far as skills go. Maybe like one rung better, but who knows at this point. And Williams does have a track record of scoring pretty well. Again, take out the Chase Sherman fight, who was the most veteran, I guess. Well, no, he did fight Justin Tafa. He put up 130 against Breshke and 117 against Tafa, both in decisions. So if he finds a submission early, we might not even want that if we're back in Williams. We might want as many minutes as possible to rack up all those control time numbers and non-significant strikes on the ground. So I'm picking Williams. I'm playing both sides. Like we said, a very, very binary fight, and we can keep it moving. Here we go. I mean, everybody's fucking clamoring for Carol Rosa and Pani Kianzad. Minus 205. Wow, for Carol Rosa, 8,600. And plus 175 for Pani Kianzad, who that I don't know what do you guys like the black hair color? I don't know it. I actually looking at it now, it is a little bit better. Fight doesn't go plus 325, and the under 2.5 is plus 375. So yeah, easy for me. I'm avoiding this one at all costs, like the fucking dengue fever for DraftKings, because yeah, Pani decision. Carol Rosa decision. Yeah, exactly. We're looking at an 80-point win here, guys. 80-point win. Our salaries are 86 and 76. We're not impressed with that, especially because we have a 7K fighter that is most likely going to win. So keep that in mind.
Hot take.
Yeah, that's what we do here. I'm not too interested in Pani. I'm not too interested, honestly, in Hosa, even though she did put up 81 points in a loss, guys. 81 points in that loss to Irene Aldana. It was great. That was a fucking great fight. Panny's not Irene Aldana. She's not going to give her that fight. So I'm going to fade this one and hope I don't get screwed over. Lou, what do you got here?
I had an argument over this fight on
Look
Twitter
at this guy. Look at this guy. Fuck yeah, Glenn. I appreciate
I'm doing this with the Monday show now. Monk inspired me because he said,
nice.
You can't even flip the picture.
Here we go.
So I
appreciate it.
I think, Panny's win condition is like split decision, and Rose's win decision is like 30-27.
Yeah.
So the pick is Rosa. I will just leave this fight on this note. I look at Pani Kianzad, and it reminds me of the line from Anchorman from Paul Rudd, where he's like, she was Brazilian or Chinese or something weird. It's like made out for 45 minutes. That's not love. That is not love.
Well, hopefully
Ron knew. He was in love with Veronica Corningstone. He knew. He knew what love was.
Exactly. Oh, Veronica Corningstone.
All right. We had to disagree on one. Londo, good luck with your bet. Like, I'm not betting it. Like, I am never betting that fight. And also, but like, again, if Pani wins, it's going to be like Carl Rosa. Maybe I just don't like people whose last name is Rosa or Rosas on this show.
When was that, though? Because in her past 5, she put up 200 against Aldana, but it was 66, 33, 54, 26, and those are all
like McMahon. Like, dude, she was a savage before that Sarah McMahon fight, and then it all started crumbling down.
So I do appreciate I do appreciate the
I agree with
that line, but
I'm not
I haven't seen it in the last 5. Outside of the Aldana fight. That Aldana, I was like walking around, I was on a walk, I was listening and watching the fight, and I was like, holy shit, why did I go on a walk during this fight? It was fucking great.
I only put this up because it's very funny. I know I probably shouldn't have put this up.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Well, now we got this
yeah.
mess.
I'm just gonna say Charalampos. I'm sure that's not how you say it, but that's how I say
Close.
it.
Well, this is where we need Wheezy. He's Greek.
He said something crazy. He said something last night, and I was like,
Dude, he said it like
it was like when Gordo says Morgan Charrier.
Dude, he's like, I mean, Wheezy, and I hope if you ever hear this, Wheezy, you have to know this is the highest praise. He's the Burt MMA of saying Greek names.
Mm-hmm.
There is not higher praise that I can offer, not as a YouTube guy, as a human. There's no higher praise
all the names well. The first time I heard him say Anthony Hernandez, I've almost lost my shit. So I fucking love how Wheezy says almost every
he's from
name.
Chicago. What's he gonna do?
I know, but it's so good. It's so good. So good. Charalampos minus 250, 8,800. That's a steal. 8,800 according to the chat. I like what I see. Taking on Toshiomi Kazama, the silent finisher. This dude, I don't know what he looks like, but he is this what the kids call mogging? Is that what he's doing right here? I don't know what the fuck.
By the way, Greek, Italian, we're all like from the same island.
That's the same shit.
Fine. You know,
there's olives everywhere.
Italian.
Plus hey, Gabagool 7,400 minus 250. Fight doesn't go. The under 1.5 is just plus 100. I think I go. I'm with the chat. I like Gregorio. Look, even if I don't like that he lost to Chad Anheliger. We never liked the people lose to Chad Anheliger. Did land 4 takedowns, so we like to see that. 36% control time, but only 21 strikes landed. So hopefully, with some of these takedowns, we get the all-important, non-significant strikes. This is not the last time I'll bring this up. In fact, the very next fight, I will bring it up again. But if you don't like that loss, look at the losses that Kazama's taking. I mean, Rinya Nakamura, they're both good losses, but they're both happening in the first round, and he is not doing anything at all. He's let 45 strikes landed on him from Armfield in 4 minutes. He's only landed 19 strikes so far. So what are we doing? I'm not interested in the Kazama side too much. I might play a little bit of him in strictly GPPs just because there's so many unknowns. But I like the Gregorio side. I probably don't have a problem rostering him in cash. And hopefully, like the chat says, we're going to get a finish here. And Gregorio is going to score very well at what is probably a very low price this week at 8,800. So get him in your lineups is my advice. Lou, what do you think? You back on the Gregorio, or do you like the silent finisher?
No, I like Gregorio, and I like him early here. And look, and he stinks. He's not that good. Let me just make this clear. This might be his only UFC win. The Smotherman fight, was just instant. You don't learn anything from fights like that.
Right.
Am I thinking of the right fight? Was it Smotherman?
I don't know. I don't have the DWCS in front of me.
I'm gonna look it up, but I'm almost positive.
What a great name for a fighter, though. Cameron Smotherman. Fucking that's top tier. S tier, the kids would say.
Yeah, he beat him in 1 minute. Look, here's the problem with Kazama. So what's his path? Grappling, right? I think Gregorio is a decent defensive wrestler. I don't know if Gregorio is going to want to offensively wrestle here. He shouldn't. He probably, I just think he has a very clear advantage on the feet. He does have some power. And who knows with Kazama now? Maybe he's just, it's a confidence thing. Maybe he's just chinny, dude. So I would look for a Gregorio round 1, round 2. I wouldn't even do in the distance. You may as well cut the number. This thing hits the 3rd round. He ain't finishing. I don't see him getting a late finish. If he's going to finish him, it's because Kazama ran it. A Kazama win to me corresponds with the over. Mm-hmm. And a Gregorio in the distance corresponds with probably insta violence. So.
Dude, there's a video. I'm sure you've all seen it, but it's a video going around today of someone's opening UFC cards, trading cards. Dana is there and they're opening the cards, and there's a regular ass John Jones, and he moves it out of the way, and Dana's like, holy shit, fucking John Jones, this card's the card under it is a Dustin Poirier autograph, it's obviously way better. And Dana's like, oh my God, give me that fucking John Jones. What?
Was there a Parsons in there?
No Parsons, unfortunately. Yeah, it's just so funny. He moves it out of the way, and it's a Poirier auto. He's like, that fucking John Jones. And what is he talking about? Tom Aspinall doesn't deserve shit. What the fuck is this guy's deal, man? All
Oh
right,
my
let's
God,
move on.
dude.
Here
Oh,
we go.
no.
I actually have a hot
No.
take on this fight, Lou. But you start us
Hey,
off.
I
Yana
can't even look at this
Santos
shit.
minus 143, 8,400. Taking on I forgot I did this. I didn't notice until I just looked over. Taking on Chelsea Handler plus 123, 6,700. That's not the right salary. Chelsea's salary is 7,800. Minus 325. Fight goes the distance. Plus 285 is the under 2.5. Lou, start us off here.
I mean, Chandler is not good, and the only thing she's good at is like being
I don't know
weight
what
bully
this sentence means.
and being aggressive. I honestly think that, like, as long as Santos doesn't get taken down, which isn't a given here, but I don't think Chandler's like got great entries either. Yeah, I think Santos wins. I think she probably wins like a very, very clear decision. She looks like she's in great shape. I mean,
she does.
This is a humongous step down. Look, the Holly Holm loss was just a horrible look, absolutely horrible. But Holly Holm at like 60 would just murder Chandler. So I don't think it matters. Like, all these people she lost to would absolutely murder. So yeah, that would be, I mean, and she was competitive in that fight, by the way, after she ran from Big Norma. But
Big Norm.
I honestly think, and this is one of these bets where everybody's on Chandler and that line ain't moving. So what are you doing, dude? I mean, you're just throwing money. How, dude? Is she like some elite finisher? Like, come on, man. Like, come on. And look, I love Glenn. And I love that I love that Glenn thinks outside the box. Like, because when you hit that, you get like the I was there. Like,
yeah.
Parker Porter round 2 sub. I'm making sure if he ever fights, I'm gonna be there when that round 2 sub comes through for Parker Porter. So I get it. But like, okay, Glenn, you have like however many characters for one message. Justify how. Tell me how Santos wins. And you said no methods. Just tell me how Santos wins this fight by finish. I want to know. Is it by K? Do you think it's more KO or sub? Like, I'm not ball busting. Sell me on it. It's 30-1. All right. Okay, but so you're bringing up another fight to justify this one. Come on, man. Get out of here. By the way, Modestus round 3 sub is like a legendary hit. It's an incredible hit.
That was insane.
That's what I'm saying.
Weezy spent the whole week shitting on Modestos, and it was I felt bad.
Dude, you could hit like you hit that Modestus sub. Your night's done. You're covered. You covered your night, dude. Like, you're way good.
You're going fucking Olive Garden. You're going Olive Garden after that.
Bets are almost like, how do you hit that? And then you're like, oh, cool. My next bet's like fucking plus 100 odds at like. How do you get excited for the next bet?
Yeah, dude. Like,
real bet.
Oh,
okay. Cardio finish. Well, there you go. That's okay. At least that's like a, I'm not doing it, but at least that's a thing. Good luck to you. I'm not going to bet Santos, but I think she wins. So I'm going to root for it. But
you can root for her for me too.
I'm up to a whopping 1 bet at this point in the card. That's Charlampas by like 1-2 or whatever I thought the thing I liked was.
There we go. I actually don't mind Yana Santos for DraftKings. Now, hear me out. She's going to be extremely low owned. Everyone is shitting on her, shitting on this fight, and probably for good reason. She's on a 3-fight skid, but yeah, there's only 20 fighters, and everyone's having Chris Gutierrez, so you have to get different. I think Santos, exactly, Noah. There's no USADA. She is not apparently breastfeeding anymore, which I don't know how that works, but obviously it probably zaps a lot of your energy, if I had to guess. But look, Santos is actually, she's not finishing fights, but she's scoring well when she wins. 2 of her 4 wins are over 100 points. She kind of has the Macy Chiasson like level of scoring. Like you would never like, oh, Macy's fighting, I gotta plug her in. But she makes optimal lineup time and time again. She's putting up 103, 105 points. Yana's put up 109. She put up 91 against Vieta. She's scoring very well in wins. And Chelsea Chandler is trash. She ran right into the cage. That's the funniest shit I've ever seen against Norma Dumont. And like Noah said, Yana probably, there's no more USADA. Hopefully she's juiced up. Hopefully her husband is giving her all the right stuff to help she looks absolutely ripped on Instagram, on Twitter, whatever she's posted on. It's crazy. She looks nothing like she does in this picture. So last thing I'll mention about Yana, she has the most non-significant strikes per minute in this entire card out of all fighters, which is very, very important when it comes to decision fights, especially. So if this fight ever hits the ground, I'm liking Yana there. And even if it's in a clinch situation, she's landing those stupid rabbit strikes. Those add up quick. So give me Yana Santos here, and I'll be higher than everyone on her this week. I'm sure it's probably going to bite me in the ass, but that's my hot take this year. Or this week, I should say. Next fight. I forget I do this shit. Chris Gutierrez, nicknamed El Guapo. This is actually El Guapo from the Three Amigos. If you guys, none of our watchers have ever seen the Three Amigos, other than just a couple of them. So, and Kwang Lee, I was gonna do something, Lou. I really was. Chong Lee, everybody knows who that is from Bloodsport. I couldn't bring myself to do it. So we get his UFC picture. Minus 550 for El Guapo, plus 400, plus 140. Fight doesn't go, and the under 2.5 is plus 160. Look, Chris Gutierrez is the guy at 7K this week. He is minus 550. That is not a typo. Short notice replacement. He was 7K against whoever the fuck he was fighting before. It does look like Damon Jackson, but without his fucking hair plugs that he put in. So yeah, I don't have to talk about this. This is Chris Gutierrez. You got to play him. He's a free square, as everybody fucking says. So you play Chris Gutierrez in cash, and you pick 5 winners, and you go from there. Lou, what do you like here? Is there any possible bet you could even think about making that in this fight?
I thought that I made the only 80s reference that was going to be on the
Did you know who this was? Do you know who this is just from looking?
Of course. That's a great movie. And I compared Spivac to I said if he shaves his eyebrows, he could be the lead singer of Midnight Oil. So I had an 80s reference this week as well.
Nice.
I mean, are we going to get into this trap where like people play the Gutierrez KO? Like, look, I understand the rationale because like Lee's a boxer and heavy on the lead leg, and what does Gutierrez do? He kicks the leg, and not only that, but like there's a skill gap level. I get it.
He's the biggest.
But haven't we been down this road?
The division.
Haven't we been down this road with Gutierrez like 18 million times? Where like
we
he should get a finish and he doesn't. Yep. And like I'm not parlaying him. You don't get much for a minus 600. Like,
no,
dude, if you parlay him and Zalal, it's like, I looked it up. It's like minus 240.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Like, I mean, he probably wins. I mean, do I want to play him? Like, I don't know, dude. He probably wins by leg. Like, I want to think that he wins by leg kick TKO, but I've been down this path with this guy before, and I'm not doing it. So I will make the hot take that Gutierrez wins. I'm going to say he wins. I'm going to do the mushroom special. I'm going to do the round 3 decision play for Gutierrez.
There we go. Next one, I wished I could find. I was trying to make, if Danny Barlow's hand was in this picture, I was going to make his left one like really.
Did you hear me at all? Did I cut out?
No, I heard. Wait, what did you?
I was going to say Lee's supposed to fight in like 2 weeks, just so you know. He's supposed to be on the Contender Series.
Oh, yeah, you did cut out.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Contender Series is
Tuesday.
Coming back Tuesday.
10 weeks.
All right.
Favorite fights.
Yeah. If you know, you know. Danny Barlow, minus 360, 9,300. Nikolai Veretennikov, plus 295, 6,900. Minus 160 fight doesn't go. The under 1.5 is plus 175. Yeah, probably. But Lou, what do you got here for this one?
Should have just let Londo do the show for me, man.
Yeah, right.
We're on like the same shit. Is it a trap? No, I don't think so. I like, because I've been trying to convince myself, like, can I get to the Vertenikov side? I'm just gonna say Nikolai to make it easier for myself. Between him and Charlampos, it was like a lot of typing.
At least, so yeah, that is true.
So I don't think his cardio is great to begin with, and like it's not going to be any better here. And I think Barlow is like, look, Josh Quinlan stinks, and Josh Quinlan landed some shots on Barlow, but Barlow was never hurt, and his power looks like it carries. Like, dude's an incredible athlete. I think his boxing's really good. I know who he's imitating right now. It's a joke. It's a joke that no one I have. I know who he's imitating. I have enough battles going on, dude. I can't. Like,
yeah,
I can't fight. You got to give me like a week or two, man. I can't fight on no more fronts for like a week or two. I'm stretching myself then. That was funny. I just think Retnikov. I mean, his path here would be test takedown defense with Barlow, but I don't think he has the cardio to do it for a full fight. So I kind of think let's not talk about Tim, by the way. Tim's my dude. He's not. I'll tell Glenn later. He's not talking about Tim. Tim's my boy. Yeah. So I think Barlow eventually knocks him out. But like,
hell of a head of hair on that guy too.
You can't even play like these round props, dude. Like his round 2 and round 3 are like fucking awful. It's like 500. Like you can't like fucking play these props. So I think Barlow KOs him. I don't think it's a trap because, again, and even if Retnikov was on a full camp, I just said I was going to call him Nikolai. Then I use his last name. Even if he was on a full camp, we still don't know if he could be successful getting takedowns here. Like we just don't really know. But I do know that on the feet, Barlow, man, I think the dude's got some serious power. I think his boxing's really good too. I think he's got more than just a left hand, but it's going to have to after he weighs in, or right before the weigh-in, he's just going to unleash hell.
It looks like he's like him and Mike Malott were separated at birth, and he was just raised in Russia.
11-1 with the leg kick. I mean, that's not horrible. 11-1's not bad for that, man. I fucking had it with Gutierrez. Dude, like I fucking had it with him. Like I don't know, man. Like I just some fighters where you're like, I'm like, you know who I'm done with? I said I'm done fading Diego Lopes. That's still my favorite thing ever. Because I was like, fine, I bet him against Ortega. And then as soon as they made the fight, as soon as the line came out with Ige, I'm like, well, I have to bet Ige. So like I've still never bet on Diego Lopes, and like I'm just like I'm an idiot, man. I don't know.
Well, as soon as you do, now he's gonna fucking lose.
Well, now he's facing Ortega. They're gonna finally run it, allegedly. And I'm gonna bet Lopes, and then something's gonna happen. And then whoever's replacement, I'd be like, well, he is a wide number here. I already know, dude. I'm gonna like when he wins the title, he can thank me for just fading him to the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's good. I think he's a really good fighter. Like I'm just like, man, this guy's gonna explode. Like I'm Sabatini guy, and then like just murk them in like 9 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Russian
I don't have much. I like Barlow here. I think he's fine at 9,300 all formats. Vertenikov just be trepidatious. That's the word I'm looking for. Just be careful. 6,900 for a debuting fighter against a guy who won a fight even with a broken hand in the first round. So, and still got the finish. I like him this week. I don't have shit else to say about it. Here we go. Next fight. Chepe Mariscal taking on Damon Jackson. Minus 205 for Chepe, plus 175 for Jackson. Minus 130 fight doesn't go. And under 2.5 is minus 105 here. I'll start us off. I like this fight. I know everybody likes this fight for the most part. I got to change my stats here. Mariscal is looking very good. He's put up over 100 twice. This is obviously his probably best opponent he's faced so far. Jackson is 3-2 in his last 5, taking losses to Billy Q, Dan Ige, but beating guys like Sabatini, Alexander Hernandez as well. I just like Mariscal's scoring. And Damon Jackson, man, which Damon Jackson are we gonna get? Are we gonna get the guy that comes out and just destroys people? I could see him wearing fucking those short ass jean shorts all the time. Is he gonna just come out here and destroy fight guns a-blazing? Or are we gonna see the other Damon Jackson, which is landing strikes, but just not doing much, like against Hernandez, 2.8 a minute, 3 takedowns, 42% control time, decision win, but he only scored 81 points. I know he's 7,100 this week, so definitely get him in your lineups for that reason. But if he was any more expensive, I'm really not taking much of a flyer on him. And with Chepe, I am taking a flyer in just GPPs, not trusting him for cash, but just GPP fights for Chepe there. Also, I'm not. You don't trust a man that has hair plugs. You just don't, Lou. And I have a personal problem with that. And so fuck Damon Jackson. No confidence ass motherfucker. Lou, go ahead. What do you got?
I almost feel like you're saying that to get me to do the Iron Sheik.
He needs to be
Damon Jackson.
He needs to be humbled, Lou.
So here's my question: Is Blue Steel Zoolander Damon Jackson a mythical creature?
No, because it's fake. It's not. It's artificial, Lou. You can't be Zoolander if it's not your fucking hair.
So here's another fight that I have a problem with, because I don't know where Jackson is better than Chepe at this stage in his career, unless he gets top time like immediately. And then the flip side is Chepe Mariscal. And remember, he was supposed to face Ige in this spot.
Paul Craig broke my heart.
Paul Craig
broke my heart in half.
Mariscal is just not the kind of guy that fights a style where he covers like a minus 200 number. Like, is he going to dominate and finish Jackson? Probably not. He's probably going to win. Like, he's got the Leech parlay, dude. Damon Jackson and Lee. Like,
and
that's
Lee
fun.
Jingling.
That's a fun parlay. That's a fun parlay, dude.
Yeah, it is.
This is like, God, I hate this term, but like, this is the second time I use this week. I feel like Jackson's a value loser here, where he's going to have moments, but just not enough. And Mariscal, I mean, dude, he didn't beat fucking Charrier, but judges thought he did. I mean, probably a decision is right. I don't think Chepe's, I don't know, man. He's not showing me that he's like some, he's also like, look, and the Jenkins fight to finish, sure, but that's a fluke. It's a fluky finish. And that's a fight he lost the first round. He got his leg kicked, but Jackson doesn't really do that. I would imagine Jackson tries to grapple, and I don't know. Chepe's take on defense is okay. Like, Chepe is going to win the title. I mean, this is not a fraudulent run. He's going to win the belt. He's going to split decision his way to the title. So, also, Chepe looks like a dude that I have bought weed from in my life.
Oh yeah. Did Ngannou get hair plugs?
And by the way, not good weed. Like, we're back to the brown frown shit. This is a brown frown guy.
Brown frown. All right, we did it, guys. Main
I'm
event time.
Nosferatu.
Hit the like, sub to the channel. I better see that 200 after I get off the show. I better fucking see it. Here it is. And this is why, if you haven't subbed yet, fucking sub now. This is the type. This is what we bring. Nobody else is doing. They all call him Nosferatu. Well, this is fucking Nosferatu. Sergey Spivac, minus 170. 8,300 taking on Marcin, Gary Oldman, Tybura, plus 145. 7,900. This haircut looks better than Marcin's. I did his ass a favor.
The Fifth Element or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I did his ass a favor. Plus 155 fight goes, and the under 3.5 is actually it's a pick 'em with the over and the under at 3.5. I'll start us off here. You probably have to play this one. I'm leaning Spivac. I know they fought before, but Tybura, he's like 9 years older. He's 38, almost 39 years old. Beat Tuivasa, beat Blagoy, and Romanov. Minus 170 now, exactly. But Spivac, I mean, looked like absolute dog shit against Hirogan the entire fight. It lasted for almost 9 minutes. He looked good for none of those minutes. But before that, beat Lewis, beat Sakai, and beat Greg Hardy all early, first and second round. So I think the upside is clearly on Spivac. That's where my GPP play is going to be. I don't know if I'm trusting this one for cash, to be quite honest. I just think you can pick 5 other winners and Chris Gutierrez. I mean, I guess I don't mind it, but it's risky. This is a GPP main event. I will have some in Tybura because he is surprising occasionally. Never scores well until, of course, last time when he subbed Tuivasa in the first round. First round sub, Lou, usually you get like 95, 99, maybe 100 points. This motherfucker scored 120 points in 4 minutes. Absolutely shocking from Marcin Tybura. So you got to have a little bit because he's shown it before, but I like Spivac here. That's where my money's going to be. He's the more clear optimal pick. So, and at 8,300, if he gets a finish, that motherfucker is going to be on the optimal. So, Lou, take us home. What have you got here for this main event? I think this is pretty good Photoshop too, to be quite honest.
I mean, I'm disturbed, so yes. Well, you know me, and you know that my favorite person in the history of life is the
Iron Sheik,
the proletariat bear of Moldova.
That's true.
I mean, there's no better pro wrestler to ever do it from Chikara. And it's literally was the proletariat boar. Sorry, not bear. That's how good he was. All the animals. So I'm not betting this. See, now this is where it's interesting because this is like a tale of two Tyburas. Like, I don't argue. Like, Tybura is probably more skilled everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could get controlled on the ground if Spivac gets him down. But I think Tybura, and also Tybura, I would trust as the fight goes on, even with the age difference. The problem I have is everybody this week is on Tybura, and all I've seen is the line move more and more towards
the other way. Exactly.
And this is one of those. And look, we saw it last week where everybody was betting Cheeto Vera, and the Figgy line kept kind of sneaking up and up and up. And it's funny because that fight played out literally. I don't think one person called how that fight was going to go wrong. Everybody knew how that fight was going to go. It came down to what happened in round 3 was the surprising one. I'm going to lean Spivac by like early. And I say that for this reason. When Tybura has had these dud fights, he looks the worst. Like the Volkov one, something looked just off physically. And this Volkov is good. Like Volkov's a good fighter. He's a tricky matchup. Tybura looked off. The Romanov fight, he got bull rushed, but that should have been a round 1 finish. I had a Tybura decision ticket, so I'm not complaining. But that should have been a 10-8, or it should have been called because he just got absolutely annihilated. So that's the thing with Tybura. There's the capability that he can just absolutely put up a turd. That's what I don't like about this fight. Now, if Spivac has a really good round 1 and Tybura is sitting there at like plus 250, plus 300, and he's not hurt, then I'm interested. Because I think as this fight goes on, I would trust Tybura to like kind of figure it out. But there's a possibility Spivac just absolutely bum rushes this guy, gets him down, and just mauls him.
Right. Because we've seen that before from him.
I'm picking Spivac, but I think, again, depending on the price, keep your book open. Like, you could get a good price on Tybura late. But yeah, so just to recap, I have 2 bets. Charalampos 1-2 and Barlow KO. That's all I have right now. I'm not parlaying Zalal. I have like 10 soccer bets, but I have 2 fight bets. Also, my soccer bets probably are like, I'm totally forcing fucking nonsense with soccer this week. That's why I only tweeted out like 3 plays. I'm like, I like these 3. Then I have like 10 that I hate.
Right.
But yeah, Manchester United's playing in the Community Shield against Manchester City. So That's my 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. block on Saturday.
There we go.
And if you didn't know, assholes, there's only one team in Manchester that matters. Only one team in Manchester.
There we go. You got anything else, Lou?
No, I'm curious to see how tomorrow's looking after the way this show started. I have no regrets, as the tattoo goes.
No regrets.
It's been bothering me for a long time. So I'm glad that, and I really hope that, you know, you got, if you honestly, we're a community, see somebody getting victimized, help them out, man. Or fucking DM me and let Angry Uncle Lou just rage so that I can come back with my third Twitter account which will be the name Tom Dan MMA. I already have it. I already have it ready to go.
Bort MMA.
Oh my God, dude.
Excuse me, my son's name is also Bort.
Oh my God, Bort MMA. I mean,
now you have to get fucking locked out of this account so you can start that one.
Just so you guys know, the dream from the jump has to do one show with Bert and Mike's MMA picks at the same time. It's not like a non-zero chance.
The miracle three-way.
Now that Bert's on Twitter, it's like, and I had to convince him, I'm like, dude, I'm literally not trolling you. Like, I am a fan. And he's like, yeah, okay. And I'm like, dude, I am a fan, man. And I showed him a screenshot from like one of his live ones where he was talking all that. Do you remember when he was talking shit about the Canadians, the fight night guys?
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all remember. This is a funny way to end it. I don't know what his problem was. And then he said the reason he didn't like them is because their breakdowns were too long. That was his problem. It was nothing personal. He hated them because their breakdowns were too long. So he was challenging them. Steve's the worst, man. I even gave him a compliment. I was in his chat.
Dude, he commented about he's going to be here for the first 15 minutes. Steve, you ain't fucking fooling nobody.
Steve, I like literally big upped your Discord and promoted it.
Yeah, take it back, Lou.
You're welcome, dude. Nah, it's a good place. But like, he was talking all this shit, and he's like, so here's my challenge. I will box you both in the same day. Like, I don't care the order. And it's like, and the winner gets $10,000, but also you guys can't break down fights anymore. So I'm like, I'm listening to this, and I'm like, oh, I forget. Somebody like DM me, and they're like, dude, you got to get in here. This is like the best thing ever. And so I got in the chat. I'm like, we at the MMA Engine would like to sponsor this fight, and I volunteer to ref. Like, whatever you want. Like, yeah, I'm here.
Guest referee.
I said we support your war of terror against the Canadians. So I sent him the screenshot, and he's like, oh, dude, I'm like, yeah, I'm a fan, man.
I told you.
So he's on board, like, with coming on and doing a show.
We got to make it happen.
Him and Mike, and we all have fireplaces. I can't imagine that wouldn't be the best show. No offense to you. There'd be no better show ever made.
No, there wouldn't be.
That's the GOAT show. All of us fireside chat with three generations of cappers. I'm not certain if Mike's the oldest or the middle, because I can't tell with him. He's either like 80 or he's
26.
Like, right. I can't tell because he's a construct of AI. So like, I don't really know.
All right. Well, there's no better way to get out of here. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I got nothing else going on. I don't think Lou has anything else going on this week. Next week is
Fight Factor.
That's right. Next week is 305, I believe. So that means Nickname Show's coming back. Season 2 of Bankroll or Bust will be back with some pretty good guests. I think this guy might be on. I owe another guy that we actually mentioned on this show an appearance, so hopefully he'll be able to get on, and then a third as well. So should be a good one. Be sure to check that out. And guys, one more time, hit the like, hit the sub. I want to see that 200 after I get off the show tonight. So without further ado, as usual, we want all of you to enjoy the fight. So enjoy, and we will see you in the next one.